So men should not pertain to godhood. The Bible is quite clear on this. Yet what qualifies godhood? We are the undisputed kings of the planet, head of every other living creature in our power and wisdom. Our curiosity has led us onwards ever since we were first capable of rational thought. We've experimented with science and art and technology, making further and further advancements. It almost seems like our humanity drives us on to become like gods. Let's just consider a few of our achievements now. We created the wheel, pyramids, philosophy, maths, logic, painting, poetry, glorious palaces, and sprawling supermarkets. We've climbed every mountain and built towering structures, mapped the earth, travelled the earth, sailed ships, flown planes, adventured in rockets, and revealed space. We discovered DNA, observed germs, manipulated germs, created medicines, used stem cells, made fireworks, atomic bombs, set up the internet, chatting online, socially networking, globally interacting, and now transfer our images onto a vast video sharing network for all to admire. Bearing all that in mind, are we not godly in what we have done? Or at least such things were previously thought the pursuit of gods. But all that said, I feel quite out of breath. Okay, not really, but dramatic license. Would a god feel hungry? Would he get headaches? Would he need to powder his nose? Would he need the medicine that we have created? Of course not. Of course, one does wonder why God needs so many angel attendants, but that's a matter for another day. In a way, mankind is like a giant supermarket. It has to keep expanding to survive, because if it doesn't, competition will rise up against it, and then it will fall apart. So my focus is not really on mankind as gods, but, for obvious reasons, on YouTube, and that will be the main focus of this video. YouTube is a particularly fascinating subject with regard to godhood, because we have competing gods on it, and the different gods have various followers, and the more followers they have, these are subscribers, the more power they command. This godly battle, which is a kind of ongoing Ragnarok, is between atheists and theists, and I'll just discuss a few of them now. Firstly, there is good old Pat Condell, who apparently spends every second of his life rejecting the Holy Spirit. I just want to say, what a complete and utter waste of time. If you don't believe in something, where is the point in continually refuting it? It's like refuting the celestial teapot every second of your life. I'm sure you could think of something more constructive to do. Then, of course, there is the amazing atheist, and he is a complete dick. But I must admit, it's quite hilarious watching someone so totally misanthropic, and it makes for good videos. At the other end of the spectrum, we have the creationist Christians, and of course the first one that springs to mind is VenomFangX. He's quite a presence on YouTube, spouting creationist theories and firmly refuting the wicked lie evolution, all the while his cute little face lit up by the glow of his holy camera. Other Christians say all you need is faith, and they sit with an aura of peace and virtue about them, happy in the knowledge that their souls are lifted from eternal damnation, and safe in the light of God's holy radiance, or a God, or something. But these aren't quite so popular. The other atheists are manifold, and their popularity is quite varied on YouTube. For instance, there is Dendrophilion, who has a great following, and he makes some very interesting, although controversial videos, and then some others who say things like, "We will rip apart the Christians and spit on their graves," and you can't help but feeling, you don't have much to tell me. Of course, there are stupid atheists and Christians, people who say, "I love Jesus," or "fuck Jesus." And the makers of videos tend to look down on these not so clever people, and they say, you should think more, you should, if you only look within your soul you'll find Jesus, or if you only contemplate the world around you you'll realise that Jesus is made up. And they tend to look down on them a bit, but at the same time they rely on them for filling up their subscriptions, you know. If the gods don't have followers, they can't say anything, so they need their followers as much as they denigrate them sometimes. and as long as their followers think what they do, it's fine. Anyway, they are all pertaining to godhood, every last one of them. Venomfang X with his matrix glasses and coat, crusading for God, and Dendrophilion with his well thought out logic and weird video editing effects. YouTubers are gods on YouTube, for their videos are permanent and immutable, and the figures within omnipotent and omniscient. You will never be able to persuade a subject of something he does not agree with, for in his universe he is incontrovertible. YouTubers seek followers by displaying their wisdom and intelligence. In Venomfang X's case, the creationists automatically flock to him because he is essentially Kent Hovind's avatar. Of course, the same can be said about many atheists with regard to Richard Dawkins. So yes, they pertain to godhood, but it is not quite as I've made out, for really both sides are trying to advance their own belief system, and in the process one must become godlike, like Achilles or Hector, else no one would listen. So in a sense we could call them priests for gods, but in another sense they are quite godlike. And in some ways it is almost inevitable that one become godlike, and everyone does it, else their videos would have no success. And therefore we are all sinners, all of us who make videos, either that or exhibitionists. I'm inclined towards the latter, as I think this is probably more realistic. All of us who make videos probably have an exhibitionist streak. I'm sure I'm as guilty as any. Either that, or we just love our own opinions. So I wish to close with a moral. Everyone, remember that as godly as you may seem, you are not gods, and therefore what you say is merely your own opinion in the grand scheme of things. And once we keep this in mind, then we can all be gods together in God's eyes.